Man, I'm excited for that day, and I'm excited about today because we are about to be joined by a very special guest, someone you are quite familiar with, joining us courtside before tonight's action against the visiting New Orleans Pelicans. I'm talking about a former Wizard guard who put up some serious numbers and who is now the analyst for the New Orleans Pelicans, Antonio Daniels. First of all, brother, thank you so much for joining us on the show. When we talk about 25 years of Wizards basketball, what is the first thing that comes to mind with you, seeing as you spent some considerable years here in D.C.?
Just the city as a whole. Like I have such a love and appreciation for this area, you know, as a whole. My godsons are still here. We still have connections here. We still have relationships here. Wes Hall, who's the head coach here, was my PD coach back in the day. Tommy Shepard, I've known Shep since I first came in the league. So just overall, I love the organization. I love the area. Just the people as a whole, the culture that's here in this part of the country, to me, is unmatched.
Antonio, when it comes to the Big Three, I know you played with them for majority of the time that they were in D.C. What was your favorite memory, whether it be playoff, whether it be a game that you had a high point total, or just a fun story off the court? What was your best memory playing with them?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because some of those I can't share, especially Gilbert Arenas stories. But no, for me, I thought that team, the amount of talent that we had on that team and the connectivity that we had on that. Like, I think about it, I was just talking to a Drew upstairs. I still talk to these guys. Twan, Gil, Karan, Antoine, Jarvis, Darius, Sangalia. Like, so many guys that I played with while I was here in Washington, I still have a relationship with and I still talk to. And I tell people all the time, like, I get the Steph Currys, I get the James Harden. That dude right there in the middle, zero, Gilbert Arenas. And I played with Tim Duncan, I played with David Robinson, I played with Chris Paul, I played with Ray Allen. That is the most talented guy I have ever played with in my 13 years in this league. Gilbert Arenas, by far the most talented guy I have played with. So you can talk about Steph, and I get it. James Harden, I get it. Gilbert Arenas, he was on another level.
Well, you talk about another level. Out of the 244 games that you play with the Wizards, I don't think you play with a 6'10 guy and a 7'3 guy on the court at the same time. I'm talking about Gaff and KP. What do you make of the Wizards' current approach to incorporating two big guys in the paint, whereas the rest of the league tends to want to run small right now?
Well, I think it kind of depends on what your definition of big is. Because just because a guy's 7'3 doesn't mean that he is a post guy. Like, when I think of Kristaps Porzingis, I don't really think of a post guy. I think of a three-point shooter, a turn and face guy. Now, one thing that they do is they do a really good job of rim protecting together. I was just telling your broadcast team upstairs, I really like Daniel Gafford. I really like Gafford. I love his athleticism. I love the way that he runs the floor. I love his explosiveness. And when you match those two together, now it really comes down to putting guys around them whose skill set complement what Bradley Beal, and what Kristaps Porzingis bring on a night-to-night basis.
Well, you mentioned Bradley Beal, obviously dealing with some injury bug right now with that left hamstring. But the decision for him to re-sign to stay in D.C. for at least the next 5 years, what do you make of his contributions over these 10 years that he's been in D.C. and moving forward?
Well, for me, it's about loyalty. And in today's NBA, that's a very subjective word, depending on who you're talking to and how it's viewed. So I think what Bradley Beal told Tom Shepard, what he told Wes Hall, and also this community is, this is somewhere I want to be. And when you have a guy that signs a 5-year deal, basically what he's telling them is, now, the pressure's on you guys to put the right pieces around them, right? That's what this league is all about. When the player's not performing well, they move him, they trade him, because he obviously didn't fit the bill of his contract. Okay, I get that, but there's also a business side the other way. So what Bradley Beal is saying, this is somewhere I want to be, and I put the right pieces around me to help win basketball games.
Antonio Daniels, we appreciate the time and the input. That's what it's all about, and it's always a pleasure to see a familiar face. You wore number 6 then, and now you get to talk about the other guy wearing number 6 in your jersey. So
man, Wes, we need to have this guy on more often. Come on now.
I'm just saying, let's do it. Anytime. You're coming back next time, right, Antonio?
For sure. Wes, Jason, I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys, man.
All right, God bless you as well, brother. We appreciate that.